And how do you think that a narrative coach will do it differently, will not think about themselves and not focus on themselves, but rather on a client and what's in between?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a lot of unlearning for a lot of our coaches who are trained very differently. And I bet
Mm,
they'll make these things happen. And there's still some spaces for that, but it's usually only when it's in service of the client, not in terms of our process. So really, it's just helping the coach to relax.
mm,
And so we often paradoxically tell our students, please stop coaching just for a
mm,
moment. You're trying so hard to be helpful, which is great, but you're missing most of what's actually happening. And then if I were to point out, this is what I'm missing happening, you go, well, how did you even see that? Well, it's because I'm not worried about what I'm going to say next. I'm not worried about, I've got to figure this out, or I'm not worried about the fact that I don't understand their problem. I said, none of that matters yet. I want to just pay attention to what's here. There seems to be, say, for example, confusion in the field, and the
mm,
client seems very unclear. So why is that? And what's happening around lack of clarity? And so the biggest thing is just getting a lot of our coaches just to put down the heavy load of, I've got to carry the conversation. I've got to understand and do the right things, all of which are noble intents, but are not as important as we might think, in the sense of everything that's going to not only happen in the session, but more importantly, everything that the client's going to be able to do when they leave the session is going to be
mm,
anchored in that conversation, not in your head or in anything that was actually said, but in what the client's taking from the experience and making their own. And so I
mm.
want to stay in that space. What are they paying attention to? What do they seem to have energy around? What are they gravitating towards? Let's go there. And so by paying close attention to what's happening as we're talking, it's much easier for the coach to do that.